Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Am I audible for all of you? Yeah, voice is okay. Krishna. So now we are in the Madhya Lila, 6th chapter. There are 215 verses in this chapter, and verses 1 to 47 is like Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya takes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home, and 48 to 66, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya arranges for Lord's stay there in his house, and 67 to 117, discussion between Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and Gopinatha Acharya, and verse number 118 to 215, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converts Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya into a Vaishnava. So we've been seeing devotees explaining the verses. It's such a wonderful section. So in verse number 178, we saw that how Mahaprabhu is taking about the three subject matters of scriptures, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya when he says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the central point of all relationships. So if you remember in the very first chapter of Adi Lila, we saw the deities who represent the Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. So Sambandha defines our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Abhideya and Prayojana is like, how do I attain, and what is the process, and what is the ultimate goal? That is Abhideya and Prayojana. These are the things which are actually the crux of the Vedic literature. So from 179, from that words, one thing we need to understand is all the Vedic literatures are self-evident. It is, it directly explains what it is. Now, there is no need for us to interpret. And in that process of interpretation, what we do, we may misinterpret. That is a danger. So here, that is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that actually no one is allowed to interpret Vedic scriptures. What is being said directly, we need to understand. When we try to explain Vedic literature in a different way, that is purely imagination of that person. So, hundreds of arguments were there between the Lord and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, and Lord cut them all based on the logic scriptures. Then the Lord says, look, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, how you should understand the scriptures. How the Vedanta Sutra, like in what light we should understand Vedanta Sutra is given in verse number 178. So even to the Mayavadis also, the Lord told to study Vedanta in terms of these three, that is the Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Now again, the Lord is telling Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, study the whole Vedanta in the light of these three. So the Lord told Rupa Goswami, Krishna Tattva Bhakti Tattva Rasa Tattva Pranta Shabashikaila Prabhu Bhagavata Siddhanta. So the Lord told teachings to Rupa Goswami also can be categorized into these three. In this way, the Lord actually repeatedly is saying that all Vedic literature, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, the Vedanta Sutra, all the Vedic literatures are to be understood on the basis of these three. The Lord says, whatever else is there in this Vedic literature is simply interpretation or just imaginary. Now let's get into verse number 180. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, can you read out the verse? Okay.
Give me a
Acharya.
second. Yeah. Sorry. आचार्यरा दोष नाही ईश्वर आज्ञा हायला अतैव कल्पना करे नास्तिक शास्त्र कैला.
The translation of this verse goes like this. Actually, there is no fault on the part of Shankaracharya. He simply carried out the order of the Supreme Personality of God. He had to imagine some kind of interpretation, and therefore he presented a kind of Vedic literature that is full of atheism. So now we will start thinking, what is wrong? What is this? First, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is that thing the Lord is talking about? Though first he told that what all problems are there in the philosophy which Shankaracharya had given, but now Mahaprabhu is telling actually there is no mistake of Shankaracharya. Actually, Shankaracharya, he had not done any mistake. It's just carrying out the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He had presented this philosophy, which is the philosophy of illusion, which is creating so much of confusion, which is giving so much of mundane interpretation to the Vedic literature. Now, to create this philosophy, actually, he was ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Verse number 180.
Swagamaya kalpatiya swamacha janana madvimukhana kuru mamacha gopaya yenasha sisthir esho tarathara.
Addressing Lord Shiva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, please make the general populace averse to me by imagining your own interpretation of the Vedas. Also cover me in such a way that people will take more interest in advancing material civilization just to propagate a population bereft of spiritual knowledge. Actually, this verse and the next verse are quoted from Padma Purana. So, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is addressing Lord Shiva. Here, the Supreme Lord is giving instructions to Lord Shiva that he himself is giving this interpretation from, instruction, sorry. Like we can find in from these two verses that you interpret the Vedic knowledge in a way that general populace will become ours to me. So this happened in the beginning of Kali Yuga. And what is the Lord is instructing Lord Shiva to do? He says that you cover me. Not only is saying that you interpret the Vedic knowledge, but he's also saying that you cover me with your philosophy and with your misinterpretation of Vedic knowledge. You cover me, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is me, in a way that people take more interest in material civilization, and they are not really be interested in having any spiritual life. So this is the instruction that the Supreme Lord gave to Lord Shiva. We'll further see what Lord is continuing, verse number 182.
Mayavadam asacha chastram krachananam bauddham uchyate mayava vihitam devi kalava brahmana murtina.
So Lord Shiva informed Goddess Durga, the superintendent of the material world, in the age of Kali, I take the form of a Brahmana and explain the Vedas through false scriptures in an atheistic way, similar to Buddhist philosophy. So in verse number 182, the instruction continues. This is also from Padma Puran, where Lord Shiva is telling how, in order to fulfill the desire of Lord Vishnu, he would appear as a Brahmana known as Shankaracharya. So he comes as Shankaracharya to give the atheistic interpretation to the Vedas. So all this is happening on the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. These two verses are quoted to show how Shankaracharya is not at fault. So verse number 183.
सुनी भट्टाचार्य हैला परम विस्मिता मुके न निशारे वाणी हैला स्तंभिता.
Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, he became very much astonished upon hearing this. He became stunned and said nothing. So, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, he could not speak a word. All his arguments has been ruled out by the Lord's powerful presentation. So now this is very surprising for all of us, right? Although Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya is very learned, but it is the Lord who is presenting different aspects of the scriptures that even a learned person had not gone through them or was not aware of the scriptural statements. This really took actually Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to so much of surprise and so much of astonishment. He could not say anything. Like when such statements are being spoken, that too upon the instruction of Lord, Shankaracharya wrote a commentary which was atheistic, which was to turn away the people from the general masses of people. Okay, turn away the general masses of people away from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then the population become very materialistic. And to that philosophy, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya had subscribed, and now he had nothing to say. He was completely convinced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions. Now, like what had happened, if you see the history, we see the Buddhism. I mean, even before that, there were people who were following the Vedic scriptures. But what had happened is that the purpose, what is the purpose of the Vedas? The purpose we saw now that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that the purpose of the Vedas is only these three things. That is to understand our sambandha with the Lord, our relationship between the living entity and the Supreme Lord, and to realize that relationship we have to perform devotional service or bhakti, and the result is to develop the love of God. So these three things is the purpose of understand. That is the purpose of the Vedas. So these three subject matters of Vedas but people in general, because of the deterioration of age of Kali, they had forgotten that purpose, what the Lord was saying. And they were more engaged in performing Vedic sacrifice, and some Vedic sacrifice also including animal killing. So somehow, Vedas become more as a means of killing the animals and enjoying. They were eating. So that had to be stopped, right? So Lord Buddha came and he then asked people to completely reject the Vedas. So Vedas were rejected. That is how somehow or the other that animal killing was stopped because the Vedic sacrifice was stopped, right? But we also understand the Vedas are the original body of knowledge coming from the Supreme Personality of God and Himself. Although the Vedas were temporarily stopped, these authorities of the Vedas has to be re-established. So Sripad Shankaracharya's role was very, very crucial. So people, they rejected the Vedas and Shankaracharya had to come and re-establish the authority of the Vedas. So he did that. He re-established the principles and authority of the Vedas, but he presented a philosophy very much similar to Buddhism. And after that, we noticed then the Vaishnava Acharyas appeared, and because the Vedic authority was established, the Vaishnava Acharyas came and they re-established the Vaishnavic principles. Prabhu, 184 and 185, can you read together?
184. प्रभु काहे भट्टाचार्य नाकारा विस्मया भगवाने भक्ति परमा पुरुषार्थ आया.
185 also.
आत्मा रामा पर्यंता करे ईश्वर भजना ऐचिंता भगवाने गुण गाना.
So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told him, do not be astonished. Actually, devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest perfection of human activity. Even the self-satisfied sages perform devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Such are the transcendental qualities of the Lord. They are full of inconceivable spiritual potency. So Mahaprabhu is telling that in verse 185 especially, it is mentioned that even Atma Rama, who are the Atma Rama? Atma Rama means who are self-satisfied. Even self-satisfied sages, what do? Even they perform devotional service. Even one who has realized that I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul. Even those exalted personalities, they engage in Ishvara Bhajan. They engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Why? Why do they engage in the devotional service of the Lord? Because of the wonderful guna. Okay. Aichi achintya bhagavanera guna. Huh? Guna. So because of the wonderful guna, wonderful transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, which have inconceivable potencies, they are so much attracted by the qualities and fashions of the Lord that they perform devotional service. Verse number 186, a very, very important verse.
Atma Rama Chamunayo Nirgrantapi Urukrame Kurvanti Aitu Kim Bhaktim Ithama Bhuta Gunari.
Those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Sri Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of Godhead, is called Krishna because he has such transcendentally attractive features. So this verse is a very important verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. This particular verse is very important and it is also very, very interesting. There is a wonderful purport in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no explanation, there is no purport given to this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But Srimad Bhagavatam, the purport is given a very big purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's a very nectarian verse. And all our acharyas have tasted this verse in a different angles. This is a very important verse as well. So, Suta Goswami is replying to Shaunakadi Rishis. In the previous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, before this Atma Ramastamanayo verse, the Sri Shaunaka is asking the question that Shukadeva Goswami was already on the path of self-realization and thus he was pleased with his own self. Then why did he take the trouble to undergo the study of such a vast literature? That was a question asked by Sri Shaunaka Rishi. So Srila Shukadeva Goswami, he was Atma Rama, one who takes pleasure in the spiritual self, and the transcendental activities are called Atma Rama. So they doesn't look for any material things for happiness. In the purpose, Srila Prabhupada says, Atma Ramas are completely indifferent to material enjoyment. So Srila Shukadeva Goswami was Atma Rama. Example of why Shukadeva Goswami was Atma Rama. There is an example from his childhood. When Shukadeva Goswami was running away, young girls, they were all taking bath and he was not at all interested. He was just walking. So the answer that Suta Goswami is going to give is a nectarian verse. Krishna is so attractive that even those who are liberated, they are attracted to Krishna. In the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada is quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita. in the part of Sanatana Shiksha, the last chapter, the explanation of the Atmarama verse is given. So Srimad Mahaprabhu is giving 61 explanations of Atmarama verse. And this is one verse. In this verse, there are basically 11 different terminologies. There is 11 different words are used. Atmarama, Cha, Munayo, Nirgranta, Api, Urukrame, Kurvanti, Ahaituki, Bhakti, Itham Bhutagano, Harihi. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that each of this word can be interpreted in different way. And it has different meanings. And combining the different meanings in different ways of the different words, you can get so many translations of this one particular verse. For example, this verse begins with the word Atma Rama. The word Atma Rama have various meanings. There are 7 meanings given by Mahaprabhu. First is Atma Rama refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Param Brahma. And it can also refer to the body, it can refer to the mind, it can refer to the endeavor, it can refer to intelligence, personal habits, and endurance. And Munayaha, Muni refers to those who are thoughtful and those who are grave and silent. And the ascetics, mendicants, sages, and saints, they're also called as Muni. Now, Nirgranta can have 4 different meanings. So, see, we see that every word has so many meanings, and combine the different meanings, and we get so many understandings of this verse. So now Nirgranta is the one who is liberated from bondage. Nirgranta. Grantha can refer to the spiritual books. Like normally we say, na, after completing Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So Nirgrantha means one who has no urge of spiritual books. And the third meaning is capitalist. It's all given in the purport. And fourth is one who is penniless. In this way, all these words have different meanings, and the permutation and combination of different meanings of different words, we can come up with so many explanations. That is what given in the purport. So, and therefore, our acharyas, they have commented on Srimad Bhagavatam also in so many ways, many different views and opinions. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says he gives the example of Atmaramas, those who are self-realized, and they are also attracted to the scriptures which glorifies the different qualities of Lord Hari. Through the pastimes of Lord Hari, even the self-realized souls are attracted. Some examples are given, how different people, they were attracted by different things. Okay, how the 4 Kumaras, they were attracted by the fragrance of the flowers and tulsi leaves anointed with the pulp of sandalwood offered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Hari. So these were the Sanat Kumaras. They were attracted by the fragrance. And they gave up their impersonal conception and they become great devotees of the Lord. Similarly, if you see Shukadeva Goswami, he was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. When Vyasadeva told the pastimes, he was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, Shukadeva Goswami. And now another example Srila Prabhupada is giving about Rukmini. Rukmini is attracted hearing the qualities of the Lord. It is said that like Rukmini was living in Kaundinyapur, in Vidarbha. Her father is Maharaj Bhishmaka, what Maharaj Bhishmaka would do, he would invite different sadhus to speak some Bhagavad Katha. So one day, Sripad Narada Muni came. He said, I am coming from Dwaraka. Let me describe the pastimes and qualities and attractive features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. Dwarakadish Krishna. So he is telling Maharaj Bhishmaka, his daughter Rukmini Devi is listening. So just by hearing from Sripad Narada Muni the glories and the qualities of Lord Shri Krishna, she got attracted to Krishna. And another example given is like Lakshmi Devi, how she wanted to take part in the Ras Leela of the Lord. And so we understand that Krishna attracts different devotees in different way. Like he attracts the elderly ladies in Vatsalya Bhava. See, they are making this butter every day, thinking that Lord Krishna will come. He will come, Krishna will come and steal it. Actually, they want, even though they were complaining to Maya, Yashoda, they actually want Krishna to steal it. That is why they are making wonderful butter. That is the transcendental competition between Mother Yashoda and these gopis, all the elderly ladies. So, and also Krishna attracts the minds of all male gopas who serve him as friends and servants. Okay, now the word Hari has got many different meanings, but there are two important is that one who vanquishes everything inauspicious and takes away the mind of the devotee by awarding pure transcendental love. And these are the two important, chief important. In Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Lila, chapter 24 and 59th verse, there is this explanation is given. Hari Shabdena Nartha Dui Mukhyatama Sārvabhauma Hari Premadiya Hari Namama. So ultimately, the meaning of this verse is that Krishna has unlimited transcendental qualities. And with his unlimited transcendental qualities, Krishna attracts the mind of his pure devotees. So these people, they are not only self-realized, they are also self-satisfied. What is the meaning of Rama? Rama means one who gives pleasure. So these people, they are completely satisfied. They have everything. It is not that they have realized that they are the Atma, but they are completely happy or satisfied in that position. And as a result, they are attracted. They are attracted to the Lord's qualities, but they are unattracted to any material or mundane things. They don't have any material desire at all. So such are the people who have understood that they are not the body, they are the spirit soul. And the perfection of life is attained by devotional service, and they are happily busy in performing devotional service. And it is mentioned that they are attracted to Shri Krishna and they are not attracted to any material thing at all. Their senses are completely under the control, and yet they are attracted to the Supreme Lord Krishna because we saw like he is transcendental and their activities are wonderful. So Mahaprabhu has quoted this verse here. Verse number 187.
सुनि भट्टाचार्य कहे सुन महाशय ये श्लोकेर अर्थ सुनिते वांछाय.
So after hearing the Atmarama verse, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, he addressed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear sir, please explain this verse. I have a great desire to hear your explanation of it. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya is asking Mahaprabhu to explain this verse to him. Text 180.
प्रभु कहे तुम्ही की अर्थ कर ताहा आगे सुनी पाछे आमी करीब अर्थ एव किछु जानी.
The Lord replied, first let me hear your explanation. After that, I shall try to explain what little I know. So just like, like how Vedanta Sutras, how Mahaprabhu heard from Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya first, and then he gave his explanation. So for this verse also, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya made a request, but the Lord said, first you explain, then I will explain what little I know. Mahaprabhu was saying. 189.
सुनी भट्टाचार्य श्लोक करिला व्याख्याना तर्कशास्त्र माता उठाय विविध विधाना.
Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya then began to explain the Atmarama verse, and according to the principles of logic, he put forward various propositions. So we all know that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was a great scholar, and he was Brihaspati, and accordingly he presented many proposed meaning of this Atmarama verse. 190.
नवविध अर्थ कैला शास्त्र मातलाना सुनी प्रभु काहे किचो ईशत हसिया.
The Bhattacharya explained the Atmarama verse in 9 different ways on the basis of scripture. After hearing this explanation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, smiling a little, began to speak. So now here, this Atmarama verse, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, he explained in 9 different ways. That is the beauty of this complex Sanskrit language, that a few lines will be there, but so much can be revealed. He gave 9 different meanings. This Atmarama verse was actually where it was discussed. It was discussed as Naimisharanya, where there were so many sages who were gathered, and Shaunaka Rishi was there, and they were all discussing. Discussion of the qualities of Krishna. So from there, Shukadeva Goswami's case, that had happened, who is he's completely perfect, and yet he got the desire to hear more about the qualities of the Lord. So they were discussing this, and this is how this Atmarama verse came. 190.
भट्टाचार्य जानी तुम्ही साक्षात बृहस्पति शास्त्र व्याख्या करीते ऐचे कारण आहे शक्ती.
So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, you are exactly like Brihaspati, the priest of the heavenly kingdom. Indeed, no one within this world has the power to explain the scriptures in such a way. So the Lord here is revealing that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya is incarnation of Brihaspati, the priest of the heavenly kingdom, and the Lord is saying that the way he explained the scriptures, nobody in this world has the ability or capability to explain the verse. Now 192.
किंतु तुम्ही अर्थ कैले पंडित्या प्रतिभया इहा वै श्लोकेराचे अभिप्राय.
So my dear Bhattacharya, you have certainly explained this verse by the prowess of your vast learning, but you should know that besides this scholarly explanation, there is another purport to this verse. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first he is appreciating Sārvabhauma Bhattacharya because he is a wonderful scholar. Also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is appreciating to teachers also. What he is teaching us, that as what is the technique to give feedback. So if we have to give any feedback, first we should give the positive things. Positive things should be brought up. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's like an expert teacher. First, he sort of like encourages Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, and like he is, I mean, like how the teacher will encourage the student like that. Yes, yes, you have done very well, but here are your shortcomings. So he says, you have explained it in a very scholarly manner, but there is another way or another purport to the same verse. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. Next, from next verse onwards, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be explaining Atmarama verse in different ways, leaving this 9 ways. Like Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Pranams Prabhu. I'm sorry, I was not able to prepare for 1 hour. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Ratnam. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice class. In spite of you were not well, just to inform all that Mataji actually suffering with a very high temperature. Still, she accepted the service and has delivered the class so nicely. Sorry, Mataji, actually, we had to trouble you in spite of your health condition.
Oh, it's
because I was also traveling. I was in Krishnagata yesterday, I reached Muscat today morning only. So that's why even the connection also got late, because I came back and I came back late and got up late also. Thank you very much, Madhu. Thanks for a nice session in spite of your health conditions. Okay, you prove that you are a true follower of your spiritual master. In spite of health condition, never compromise on the preaching mission. Thank you, Mataji. So nice of you. The devotees have any questions, comments? You can ask Mataji for a few minutes before we end the session.
So if no questions, comments, so just to wrap up, like how Mataji summarized so nicely, like what is the purpose of Vedas, that she said Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, then also glorified Shankaracharya, and after that how the Buddhism taken place, then nicely explained the verse of Atmanama, that is Atmanama means self-satisfied, and she also deep dive into the pastimes of Sukadeva Goswami. Then the 7 meanings of Atmarama verse, like the Lord himself, the body, mind, endeavor, then intelligence and habits. So also the 4 Kumaras, how they become impersonal to personalist by just having the fragrance of Tulsi leaves. So how amazing it is that how just by attentive hearing, how Rukmini Devi got attracted to the Lord Krishna. So these are some of the points I noted down. Thank you, Mataji. Despite your health condition, you nicely narrated the today's session. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. If anyone has any comments, questions, you can, few seconds we can take. Otherwise, we'll conclude the session. I think no comments, no questions.
Prabhu, who is the next speaker? Please confirm.
Yeah, I need to check. Oh, give a second.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranams, Prabhu. It's me, Prabhu, Girirani.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
So I think